Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Underground podcast. We're back and better than ever, and this week I'm interviewing our head of service, Stefan. It's great to have you on here, mate. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, and it's a pleasure doing one of these. I've heard Jamie's and Matt's and everybody else's. I was just excited to get going, really.
Yeah, I knew you'd be a good person to have on. Yeah. First and foremost, can you give us a little rundown of your time here at UE, like your role and your duration and your day-to-day responsibilities?
Right. Yeah. Sure. I'm head of service delivery here at Underground Ecom. And I love to say, and I'm sure a few of our partners will recognize this when listening. I always say my role is to make everybody happy. So that's the essence of my job here. Basically, what I do is I ensure that the quality of content we provide for our clients, as well as the strategies and the results we give, are at the highest possible quality. And I do this by working with our team internally, providing advice, training, expertise, anything they might need, analyzing their comms, their calls, how they are, what they could improve on, and any of the little things in between, solving problems, issues, anything like that. So I've been doing this for a year here at UE, and before that, I was one of our client managers, managing a team of 14 clients, 2 account managers, 2 designers, a QA person, and a few other bits. And before that, I was an account manager at UE, which is mostly creating content and implementing things in Klaviyo. So quite a lot of moving up and experiencing different levels of this company.
You've had quite the time here. How were you recruited here? Were you headhunted? Did you apply within or?
Right, it's a funny story because that was just after the whole COVID thing started, when it was like, businesses shutting down, the world shutting down, everything was just crazy. And I was just after looking for a job and then getting different offers and stuff like that. I saw Jamie's post in one of the groups on Facebook, on social, and I was just interested in the role. I was interested in the company, just finding out that it's a European-based agency. For myself, being based in Europe, that sort of had an interesting sound to it. I got to meet Jamie. Then after that, I got to meet James, and we just hit the ground running pretty much from day one. So that was it.
Love it. Is this your first? Well, when you originally started, was that your first time in that kind of role?
Well, I've actually originally, when I started email, that was 5 years ago. I actually started in like a sales role, and eventually I reached up to like a department head to an extent. So not necessarily managing the whole sales channel, but something of like a senior hybrid role in that area. After that, I moved on to a role that entailed managing an email marketing wing of a social media paid ads agency. So they sort of expanded into email. So I sort of took over that part and was like establishing processes and stuff like that. And then here it was the first time I was handed these responsibilities when it comes to just like directly working with the quality of service, and almost exclusively working with the quality of service. So not my first time in like a manager level position, but definitely first time working on in terms of service quality and stuff like that. So yeah.
For sure. You mentioned that it's a European-based role. Whereabouts are you actually based?
I am based in Bosnia, which is in Southeast Europe. It's in the Balkan Peninsula, if you guys know it. It's right next door to Croatia and Serbia. And a lot of our staff are actually from this part of the world. So we have a lot of people from Serbia. We have a lot of people from Macedonia, from several from Croatia as well. So it's there's quite a community of UE workers here. And yeah, it's been that way because I've joined with COVID having already been started. So we pretty much have let our office sort of go, and we sort of everybody's working from home now, and looking forward to all coming together in like an office setting at some point in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with the few people I've worked with. UE has recruited some serious talent. They're all great.
Yep, definitely. I'm happy where I am, but I would love to just connect and meet everybody in person and sort of move into a more like a traditional office setting, if you will.
Not sure you want to meet James.
No, I'm more than happy to. James and I are fast friends. We're like since day one, so trust me.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
But
How do you ensure that the quality of content that we put out is, well, as excellent as UE is?
right. So to an extent, I'm going to use a metaphor, and I love using them. So I'm sorry if I just come across as like a ponce, but using metaphors is great. So you look at it as a lab, right? So you have your quality checking, like of things that are going on, the results and everything, and you do this by either taking random samples from the same batch and then comparing that against what you think, is like a certain level of quality you should be having. So I would, for example, review a random call one of our managers has with a partner that we work with, and just be like, okay, if this call is this good, then probably the other calls this person has done are equally as good or close to this quality. Or I'll take a look at, for example, a campaign our team created or a process they follow to get to a finalized campaign, and sort of try and spot if there are any inconsistencies with what we know our process is, if there were any like letdowns, if there were any things that were sort of circumvented to save time or anything like that. And then I, bring it up to the team, make a loom or get on a call with them and just be like, okay, guys, we were lucky. This was a great piece of content. Everything was fine. But if I look at the process, here's what we needed to do. And instead, here's what we've done. So I sort of analyzed that with them. And then obviously in providing training and feedback to regular things that I see happening on Slack or email or any other types of comms, I sort of try to provide value to an extent where I say, you've said this and it's fine, no big deal, but here's some additional things we could have done to make it a little bit better. So that's sort of my approach there in terms of getting the best.
You put down the iron fist when things go wrong.
Well, I try not to make it an iron fist, but more often than not, it ends up with like I try not to give lectures, but sometimes it just ends up being that way, and I always regret it later. But I don't know.
How big is the team that you're currently working with?
Well, in terms of partners we work with, it's now definitely over 100. So yeah, in terms of active partners, we have more than 100. And in terms of employees, I think with regards to the delivery team, so the operations team, we're somewhere around 70 or even 80 at the moment, looking at the whole, QA and the systems and everybody that's involved. So yeah.
And is there a specific service delivery team as well?
Well, in terms of service delivery, almost the entire company is aimed at service delivery, but the service is delivered through different channels, right? So some people create graphics and they deliver a service with like, beautiful graphics and visuals and stuff. Some people do QA and they are the ones who deliver service in terms of emails being spotless, no mistakes, no issues. Others put together campaigns in Klaviyo or other platforms, and they are the ones delivering the service sort of in a direct way, delivering the actual emails. So it just depends on your definition of service delivery, but yeah, there's everybody's delivering the service.
For sure, yeah. You mentioned earlier that you were obviously looking forward to UE potentially having like an office, but is this your first entirely remote-based role?
No, when it comes to email marketing, I've almost exclusively had just remote roles. I worked in an office before in my country and others in a different niche, in a different industry, and so that was a whole other experience. But when it comes to email, I've almost exclusively worked remote since I started doing it. So yeah.
Nice. And yeah, on that note, how would you describe the culture at UE, considering it is entirely remote?
Yeah, there's definitely like it's very organic in a way. So everybody who comes in and everybody who's been here for a very long time sort of contribute to it growing. So we're not like this mechanism of like forced, culture, you have to do this, and then we have these calls where we have these games, that are obviously projected to reduce stress or whatever. Rather, we try to respect everybody's interests, respect everybody's, ethnical background and culture and stuff like that. So there's always like new things to learn, and it's an international team. There's always new traditions, new cultures, people taking time off in a weird time of the year. It's like, why are are they doing that? And then you figure out it's like a big holiday in their country, so you learn more about that. So there's definitely a lot of that sort of global spirit present. And outside of that, it's a very high octane, results oriented company. So people are mostly, I think I've just said today in a conversation, I feel as if everybody in this company is above average in every way. And they're all very unique, very special people, and each of them has their own like trades that are like stronger suits and then weaker suits, and everybody's learning and moving forward. So it's a really, really thriving place to be. And there's like this whole inspiration and a good sort of creative spirit going between the people. So yeah, I quite enjoy it, and I think it's a very strong thing that we're building here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in one of the marketing group chats, and I'm currently at uni, and I'm just seeing the results and the partners we're bringing in every day, every week. Yeah, and it's inspiring to be a part of this team, and I feel like I'm part of something that's growing, and it's growing at an exponential rate. Like I'm doing all the comms and socials, and I'm always doing like a new brand, new partner post every week, every 2 weeks, like just multiple people coming through.
It's true. It's true. There's always several partners coming on board every week now, so it's really crazy how that happens.
Yeah, it's basically doubled in as well in terms of the size of the people who've been working with us as well, the employees as such. Yeah. What do you enjoy most about working here? What's your favorite thing?
Right. Well, I mean, I enjoy so much. I mean, there's practically no side of it that I don't enjoy, right? But if I have to choose something I enjoy the most, it will be just connecting, right? Connecting with people from different areas of the world, connecting with partners from different areas of the world, learning about their business, soaking in that sort of, every business is unique. Everybody has their own set of problems and challenges. So learning about those and just taking that experience and then getting the ability to apply it, to help somebody else, or to be understanding about somebody needing to be off for a little while, or understanding that somebody is not like at their best every single day and you have to support them when they're not. That's really what I enjoy the most, just the experience and the learning. And yeah, so
For sure. Well, I'm not going to ask you what you least enjoy because there'll be nothing, hopefully. But have you? Sorry, carry on.
No, I said if you say least enjoy, so I still enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much in some other things. Then yeah, I think that's something that we can take and work with. I don't enjoy. I'm sitting too much, and obviously with the nature of the role, that's pretty much it. Like I could be having a standing desk or something like that, which is definitely a quick and easy solution. But at the moment, I don't enjoy the fact that I am sitting down too much. I'm not very like active as I like to be. So that's a part of the just individually from my own perspective that I don't really quite like. But obviously, it's easy enough to change. You just have to not be lazy.
Get a comfy chair and a gym membership.
Something like, oh, comfy chair is all sorted. I got a really good steel case chair that I quite enjoy, but with the gym membership, that never works out for me, pun intended.
Maybe next year's New Year's resolution.
Yeah, true, something like that.
Have you faced any adversity in your time since being here, whether it be within the role, and have you overcome it?
Right. Well, I would say the scale of UE and being a part of the process of that scaling to this level of the number of partners and the number of employees, that has been a really big challenge in 2021. Just sort of keeping track of the information flow, understanding who's been assigned what, who is in training, who is moving into a full-time role, understanding which partner has been onboarded, where are they in the service, is it the first month, is it the second month, which campaign is going out when. So sort of keeping a track of everything has been a big challenge just for myself. I know for Jamie and for everybody else in the company, it's been pretty much the same as we've all been a part of the scale. And I think everybody learned first to cope with it and then adapted to it in their own way. For myself, it was mostly just about staying productive and always contributing. It's like, it's okay if you don't know something, right? But it's not okay if you choose to ignore something. So I've tried to build my own systems, build my own ways of having all this information available to me at my fingertips whenever I need it, making my life easier, either writing something down, keeping personal records, or keeping track of everything. So it has helped me really understand who I am as a person a little bit better. And I've learned I love data, I love reports, I love formulas, I love stuff like that, which is insane, I know. But that's
That's
sort
good
of,
for us.
yeah, that's how I rose. I learned a few things about myself. I really pushed hard on these aspects of my personality, and yeah, I've overcome it quite well, I think. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, we couldn't have one of our most knowledgeable guys without asking you technical questions. And my first one for you is, how is iOS 15 affected email marketing, and how are we adapting to this change?
Right. So I would say there's been quite a bit of fuss about iOS 15, and naturally with what iOS 14.5 did with Facebook, it was
Mm.
sort of expected that the 15 is going to be a bit of a shakedown when it comes to email marketing. However, to be honest, either it's because we were so prepared and we expected it so much, or because in reality it's not that big. We haven't actually seen major changes. Like for some things and to some extent, yes, certain metrics when it comes to email marketing have been affected, and certain things are not as reliable as they used to be up until this point. But it took two or three quick fixes we could apply to pretty much every partner account. It was pretty much just not, it didn't affect anything. Most importantly, it didn't affect any results that we were able to achieve for our partners during this time. So we don't expect it to affect things as much over the next few weeks or months. Naturally, I'm sure more solutions and different approaches and strategies will appear when it comes to open rates and how to not take open rates into account too much, or something like that. But for now, for the most part, we haven't seen anything dramatic in any of our partner accounts, and we're very happy for that. Again, I would like to believe that's because we were ready, we've prepared, we knew what to expect, and ultimately that led us to where we are. So yeah.
I know, did iOS 14 make any changes to how you had to operate? Because I know for social media marketers, it was to do with the tracking across different apps, and it was made it less reliable for Facebook ads. But did it make any changes to email at all?
iOS 14, not really. No, it didn't change anything major for email. It did change the way email interacts with Facebook. And wherever there were a lot of partners and a lot of businesses in general that depended on Facebook for their traffic or ads or whatever else, I know they needed to rethink their marketing budget. They needed to pivot towards different solutions and different things. So in a secondary way, it did affect email because a lot of people depended on translating people that come in through Facebook ads into email subscribers, and then using that for retargeting and for increasing customer lifetime value or stuff like that. But so in a secondary way, it did affect email, but in a direct way, as iOS 15 did, it did not.
Perfect. Right. How are we preparing our partners for Black Friday success? And furthermore, the Golden Quarter has just started. How are we going to extend these results not only through Black Friday, but for the entirety of these 3 months?
Right. So as with any crazy time, right, you have to grab the bull by the horns, right? That's the reality of it. So adding additional resources and providing additional sort of hours and all of these other things is pretty much always our first step. So this is the first thing we discuss with our partners. Do you want to do Black Friday? Here's what we think we should be doing, and then saying, okay, so if it was a normal November, if it was a normal month, we would do this, this, and this. However, since there's Black Friday, on top of that, we're going to be doing this, this, and this, right? And then going into that conversation and the plans and everything, we sort of start that already. We're doing it now, and we've started it in September, almost immediately after Labor Day. So we give ourselves at least a month and even 2 months to plan everything with our partners, to put things in motion, to create content. And ultimately, we like to schedule all campaigns and get all the flows ready almost a week, even 2 weeks before Black Friday actually hits. So that's something we do every year, and that's something that has served our partners well in the past. And then for the Black Friday weekend itself, we have a flying squad. So we have an emergency team that basically stays online throughout the weekend, all the way until Cyber Monday and that closing time, to provide support for any partners facing issues. Sites go down all the time, stock runs out, these things happen. So we always have a team at standby to just come in and help as much as needed. So those would be sort of a few things that we do just as a boilerplate strategy and approach for Black Friday. And the same thing is happening now in 2021.
Sure. Is this your first year then as head of service at UE?
Well, it's my second Black Friday as head of service, because last year I also did Black Friday as head of service delivery. But in terms of UE as a company, this is it's, I think, our third or fourth Black Friday that we're going through with a similar approach to what I just explained. So yeah, that's how it is.
Perfect. And lastly, what are your top tips for getting started with an email marketing agency for those listeners that are looking to get started?
Right. So do you? I just wanted to clarify this question. Do you want to help people start their agency, or help businesses start working with an agency? That's the part that I didn't quite get.
Maybe a little bit of both. Can we dip our toes into both of those?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So basically, if you want to work and start your own email agency, I think a lot of people obsess and worry about finding clients, right? That's the first thing that people are sort of worried about. Well, I think you should the first thing you want to concern yourself with is they are not clients, they're partners. They should be. It's not you're not providing a service for somebody as a freelancer or an employee. You're providing a service for somebody as a consultant, as an actual partner. So the first thing you want to do is you want to teach yourself to really, if you're pitching to somebody, if you're working with somebody, try to be interested in their business, see what they can do holistically, and how email is a part of that holistic approach. Don't just be like, hey, we'll create 5 emails for you, you pay us X amount of dollars, and here's a contract. That's not how you want to start your email agency. So that's the first thing, I think, a mindset problem. And then the second thing is finding good employees. Obviously, the world is a very small place now. It's no longer you have to get on a ship and travel 7 weeks to get to USA.
Yeah.
You go there in an hour. So it's a very small place. So you want to look everywhere for good employees, right? It's not just it's not just UK. It's not just USA. It's not just the big countries. There's also a lot of small countries, Bosnia, for example, being one of them, Serbia. I know a lot of people hire from the Philippines, from India, Pakistan. All of these countries are really great pools of talent. People are highly educated, experienced, motivated to really help and work. And English is pretty much everybody's second language these days. So it's really not a barrier anymore. So you really want to cast a wide net and hire the best possible people for the job you want to do. UE has done this, and we continue doing this, and that has been one of the big drivers behind our success so far. And then the third point, and my last for anybody who wants to start an agency, would be build processes from day one, right? So you always think, okay, it's just me and maybe a designer. We're working together, to create these emails. We don't really need a process. It's fine. But very quickly, and this UE didn't have this problem exactly because we started building processes immediately. Very quickly, you'll find you're having 10, 20 employees, you're having 50, 60 clients, things blew up and you still don't have a process. And then you have to start from scratch, find a good platform, build stuff with your employees. Some like it, some don't like it, some want to learn it, others don't want to learn it. So it just becomes a real mess. in building that from day one, even if it's just yourself, you're really setting yourself up for success. So that would be any advice for email starters. Now, in terms of anybody who wants to start working with an email agency, the first thing is define your budget and define your expectations. If you pay $1, you'll get $1's worth of service. If you pay $1,000, you get $1,000 worth of service. If you pay, five, you get five, and so on and so on. You can go
What you get, what you get out.
Yeah.
What you put in, what you get out.
Yeah, exactly. But basically, so if you have a budget in mind, think what would you like to get for that budget, right? So do you need somebody to just create content for you because you don't have time to do it yourself? Do you want a partner who's going to help you grow and improve and make your business strong? Do you want both? So think about how much that is worth to you, how much you sort of are ready to set aside, and then start searching for somebody who fits that narrative. The second thing is always make sure your partner has what it takes. So if you need to, do your due diligence, talk to the sales representatives or whoever it is you're talking business with, find out what their size is, find out how quickly they've grown, find out how many employees they have, what sort of practices do they use, check for any sort of feedback or anything like that. Really try to dig deep and understand who it is you're looking to work with, rather than just looking into, here's this guy, he's promising me results. He seems to be okay with the amount of money I can pay him, so why not, right? Rather, there's more to that than just a simple transaction. And then lastly, look for respect. Right? So look for people who respect you as a business owner, no matter how small or big your business is. Look for people who respect your product, no matter if you're drop shipping it or if you're, making it yourself, or if it's branded, if it's not that branded, generic, whatever it is. Find people who respect what you do, who respect your hustle, and who are ready to help you, take it to the next level. Don't just satisfy yourself with, I understand you have these people, they'll build templated things for you. They'll build these things that are obviously been sort of set up in advance, and then try to cram a triangle shape in a circular hole. So always look for that bespoke approach and for that sort of high quality service, which, yes, that is what I'm here for, but it really is one of the most important things you want from an email marketing agency in this situation. So yeah, those would be my pieces of advice there.
Absolutely. I hope the listeners are taking notes, because you have just spouted a lot of knowledge to whoever is tuned in.
Right. Absolutely.
But the most important question is, of all of them, is who is your celebrity inspiration?
Right. Okay. Good. That's a funny one. I love, like, classic people that everybody likes, Elon Musk, whatever, some other like major players in the world at the moment. But funnily enough, my celebrity inspiration is Clint Eastwood. You would never believe it.
I've heard a song about him by the Gorillaz, but I don't know much on him.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, Clint Eastwood. Obviously, I'm a big fan, and I think we ran a post a few weeks back. There were a few funny bits and pieces about me in my life. I'm a big fan of westerns, so cowboy movies were a big part of me growing up, and even comic books with like. There's these Italian comic books that are translated in Serbian many years ago, and I inherited a lot of them from my dad. So I sort of was a big fan of just cowboys and the whole Wild West culture and all of that. Obviously, eventually I stumbled upon spaghetti westerns, and Clint Eastwood just stayed with me. I love the energy and his just whole appearance, and the way the things he radiates are just something that I find very close to my heart. So yeah, that's what it is.
Sweet. And do you have any characteristics that resembles theirs? Sorry.
Yeah, of course. I think confidence is the name of the game. I think the thing that made Clint Eastwood really like stand out when it comes to the way he presented himself in his movies and the way the characters he acted. He would always be this like quiet, sort of confident guy who didn't mess about, who was just like always, down to business. Tell me what you want, I'll give you what you need. That kind of thing. That's the approach I like to take when I do things. I don't like to overthink. I don't like to like analyze too much or anything like that. I'm typically like, that's a problem. Solution 1, 2, 3. Pick one, face the consequences, and move on with it. I don't like to think about the ending before I even start it. So in that way, maybe it's a little bit stupid, but I really do think I am channeling that Clint Eastwood spirit. So yeah, that's where we are.
Well, you're definitely doing something right, because we're flying, and you're definitely radiating confidence. You've been a great speaker.
Thank you. Very nice.
That's all we've got. Thank you, Stefan. You've been unreal.
Nice. Good stuff. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yep, same here.
Speak to you in a bit, mate.
Right. Good one.